Alrighty, so another day in 100 Days of ML, specifically day 25. And yesterday we left off by doing, we're stuck on building the Docker file for our ML project. So what I was doing was trying to build a Docker file so I could get all of my dependencies set up. That way I have all of my dependencies in one location and I don't have to deal with pip and all of the local environments. Okay, so when I was doing that, I ran into several issues. Namely, I couldn't, for some reason, the way that my Docker file was set up, it was not set up in the root directory. So what happened was, whenever I tried to build a Docker container using the Docker file, I was unable to because the Docker file wouldn't recognize where requirements.txt was from. And so the problem was it was searching in the local directory, which doesn't contain the requirements.txt. It actually contains it in the root directory. So what I did, the changes I made was, first I took out the copy command. I added work directory as text classifier instead of dev. And what I realized was, for some reason, I think dev already exists. There was some sort of naming issue with that. So I changed the directory name to text classifier instead. And then I added requirements.txt to the root, which is text classifier. I run ls to show all of the contents while building the Docker file. And I ran the pip install and everything worked fine. So if I'm correct, I should be able to run docker compose up and everything should run perfectly. I also updated the requirements.txt, added a few versions. These are pretty standard, like no matter what, I think even if you do specify the standard of the versions, it doesn't really change. NumPy, Pandas, Jupyter are all pretty like basic. So I'm gonna let this down. Okay, hold on. This is downloading TensorFlow again, which I don't want to do because I'm already building from the TensorFlow Docker file. I'm using that as base. I'm using TensorFlow 2.5.0 GPU, so I'm gonna remove that and let it compose again. I'm also watching the F1 Formula 1 qualifying at the same time, so I might be a little distracted. A lot of cars getting wrecked on the circuit, to be honest. Okay, so, alright, so now that I have that finished, I do have to update README a little bit because troubleshooting is done. Building the Docker image, that's what I'm currently doing. Next, what I'm going to do is I have to start planning out things to do today. What I was thinking was I update the README. And I guess there's nothing holding me back from like starting the pipeline. So what I could do is figure out data ingestion and also where to get decide where to put the files. I've been watching a lot of videos on DevOps and also ML ops, and it's kind of interesting because like it shows you like the progression of a software engineer through a company, and like DevOps is not really the entry-level position for an undergraduate who just comes into the industry. It usually takes some time, like years of experience, so, and you have to learn a lot of tools for DevOps. Same thing with ML ops. It's kind of like similar tools, but in addition to TFX, and also knowing how the application is centered around data and not necessarily the logic that you're building. So yeah, software 2.0, as some would say. Okay, what the heck? This is uninstalling TensorFlow 2.5. I have to check what version of TensorFlow TFX uses, because otherwise this would be an issue. If TFX is not compatible with TensorFlow 2.5, then my whole setup would kind of fail. So looks like the container, the image was built, and it's built as a text classifier dev latest. Shoot. So here it tells me that it uninstalled TensorFlow 2.5, but why? What did it install instead? One way to find out is just running the Docker container. That's a lot of unnecessary files that I need to clean up. Docker prune, I believe. Docker image. There's still a lot of like these none containers. I'll have to individually delete all of them. I have no idea why. It's probably because of text classifier dev. When it was building text classifier dev, probably installed a bunch of dependencies. Oh no, this is probably yesterday when I was trying to build my Docker container, but it was unsuccessful. Okay, anyways, so we use Docker run GPUs all. Is that how I run it? I always have to check 100 days of ML to see how to run the Docker file. GPUs space all. There's no dash. Okay. IT RM. I don't want to publish a port. I'm gonna attach a volume. Actually, I'm not gonna attach a volume because I think when I was building the Docker Compose, so it should already attach the volume for me. I think that's how it works. If not, I'm going to attach it again. So let's see if this works. ls -a cm. So the only file that's attached is requirements.txt, which is inside of, yeah, so the problem here was dev already exists. And when that happens, I think I was running into issues where it would go into dev and I wasn't able to access the folder. So I named it as text classifier instead. Rookie mistake. So it didn't attach the volume. So I'm gonna have to kill the Docker container. I have no idea if that's the correct syntax. Okay, I guess it is. Okay. So I have to run this, and before I specify, I'll have to attach the volume, which is, I want to attach everything in my current directory to text classifier. I believe that's how I do it. Let me just double check with the README somewhere here. PW, I can do PWD. -V $PWD and then slash text classifier. Right, so here we go, and I got my text classifier. Also have Docker and everything. That's fine. So quick thing, just I want to check pip list. So I have TensorFlow 2.4.1 listed. I'm not even sure if this is the GPU enabled TensorFlow. Is Jupyter Notebook installed? Yes, it is. So what I could do is probably open up Jupyter. Do I need to put... I wonder how to open up Jupyter inside Docker container. Because I think I have to publish a port. Yeah, I do have to publish 888. 8888. And then this will fire up Jupyter Notebook using the final command in the Docker file. What is this? Oh, so in the Docker file, I have to specify Jupyter. I don't know if I can directly run Jupyter on like the Docker terminal or something, whatever this is called, CLI. Yeah, I feel like this is no good. Either way, how am I supposed to test now? So do I need another image for a notebook, or like kind of need to figure this out? Um, so I need to publish the port, and then inside the container I need to do IP000, no browser, and allow root. Okay, let's try that. -3, I also need to publish p -p 8888. There we go, publish the port. Now I need to run this command. And now I should be able to access. Oh, awesome. I gotta keep note of this. For now, I think I'll just put it in here for now. And I'll update the README at the end of this stream, probably. I also need to make sure I have this Docker command. Boom. Okay. All right. So first things first, go to text classifier ML pipeline. And okay, now I gotta figure out the architecture. But before doing all that, let me just test if TensorFlow works. And you check if GPU is working. Check if TensorFlow is using GPU. There's an easy way to do this. I think this is depreciated. Yeah, I can't use this. What's the new way to do it? So this, I have no idea. Test GPU is available. Instead, this, whatever. Let's just see if it works. Got some tab spacing issues going on here. Okay, that's bad. It's not using my GPU. It's mostly because of the TensorFlow version. So yeah, it's not really using my GPU. This is not a good sign, so I have to rebuild a Docker container. This would just be like, oh shoot, I should, okay, that's fine. Test, I'll call this test GPU. And then what I'm gonna do is move this actually to what the heck? How do I move files? I gotta shut it down first. Yeah, right. So move. What's the directory? Text classifier ml tests. So from pipeline, I'm gonna move it to tests. There we go. All right, so that should test if the GPU is available, which is currently not. So what I'm gonna have to do is, since TFX is only compatible with TensorFlow 2.4.1 at the moment, I believe. Let me add how to check TensorFlow version. TensorFlow version, here we go. This is the code. 2.4.1, yeah, okay. So 2.4.1 is not compatible at the moment, so what I'm going to do is figure out. Wait, so here it says successfully loaded in CUDA 11.0. Okay, it's fine. I'll just build it with TensorFlow Docker version 2.4. Where's their Docker hub? Let me close down this container. I need 2.4.1. And I need a GPU. Here we go. So let's replace this over here. Save that. Commit my changes. And rebuild. Oh shit, do I need to remove the Docker container first? I mean Docker image. Now what? Okay. Unknown TensorFlow. Unknown instruction. Oh, it's from. I think when I copy pasted it, it got deleted. I think Qualls is done. Verstappen's currently leading. There's another crash. Oh, it's stopped. There's still 9 minutes left, but they have stopped. It's the 2 Red Bulls and the 2 Ferraris. Pretty interesting. Okay, so what's up? What's next? Right, so I have to run the test for the GPU, make sure that works. It's a notebook test. I could honestly automate this as well for CI/CD, and also put it into packaging and make sure that works. Yeah, I want to figure out like what I'm going to do next. Should I do CI/CD next? Set that up, or should I build the pipeline? I'm thinking pipeline. Yeah, I think I'll go with the pipeline. It'll be more interesting that way. Go step by step. I was reading this cool, I guess, tutorial-ish by Google Cloud. It's pretty condensed, has a lot of information as well about ML ops. All right, awesome. So now it's using the GPU and we have everything set. So when I do train the model, it does train on the GPU using my 3080, which is pretty nice. I'll also add in NVIDIA SMI here. Cool, cool. I just right there shows 3080. Pretty nice. All right, so ML now pipeline, and I can start data ingestion. It's been about 30 minutes into the stream. All right, I guess we could start, or I guess what I'm gonna do is just set up README again, polish it a little bit, and then start data ingestion from tomorrow. Boom, boom, boom. I'll do a little bit of organizing, make sure my project's all up to date. And I gotta push all my changes into into this repo. So let's go to projects here, tasks, move over setup Docker file. We've done that, done with listing dependencies. Next up, building pipeline. Awesome, and I also need to add tests. But I think I'll do that at the end after kind of getting all of this stuff working. Build app. Oh, and an interesting thing is that I got done today is I got my custom domain, and nice, it got the SSL was building in the morning, but now it seems complete. So yeah, I got a custom domain under my name, Harshith Mohan Kumar, and I still have to work on this website. There's a little bit of like glitches here and there. For example, when I press this, it's supposed to go to the top, but all of these changes, like I realized like once I deployed, it was a little different than the local environment that I was building it on. So I do have to change it up, and yeah, stuff like this where it's not showing up properly. But yeah, at least I have it deployed. I'll fix up a few changes and I guess publish this link. Okay, so all right, documentation, update README, usage, getting started. Let me go into TensorFlow and get some inspiration from them. Here we go. Okay, so they have their package, they have Python versions, API, code style. They have their code style, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I do have to add a formatting to this, Flake8 and Basil and Black, so I have to be doing that soon. Maintainership, some packages, compatibility, installation. Tutorials, all of that I think should come under getting started. So I'll add those sections, but I'll fill it in once I have everything done. Installation. What else? Tutorials. Contributing. At the end, there's a license. So I should add that. My IT license, and I can link my license. Cool. I could also add a couple more shields. And I guess I could add the YouTube. Oh, I started that one section with that repository that has some pretty nice badges. Hold on. How do I do this? Okay, so first of all, I'll have to set up YouTube URL and then YouTube shield. You're going to specify the shield. Here I'll have to specify YouTube link to my channel. Okay, and then I'll have to come up here, name it YouTube. That way, I think it should work. Hopefully it does. I could also add like a website, my personal website. There's no really badge for that. Oh, oh well. All right, cool, cool. Right, what's next? What else do I need to update? I have to give it a small description. I'm gonna think of All right, so I have that updated, and I have a little more things in here. So I think I'll make usage a little bit more clean. Okay, so let's see how this looks. It's not what I want it to look like. Kind of want it to look like blocked off code. How do I get that to happen? Like this. I want it like this. Let me check. Raw. Oh, okay, so it has to be like that. Okay, let's see. That should be better. And this comes over here. Okay, cool. I think that's it for today. I got the Docker container set up and it's using GPU. So I ran that test. So for tomorrow, what I'm gonna do is, let me update, build Docker container and run. So what else did I do? I check if GPU is being used. Right, so next up on day 25, I'm going to be, I guess, building the code for data ingestion. Oh, actually, before this, I guess I have to set up pipeline architecture. All right, and then from day 26, I can start on data ingestion. I think I forgot to add, there we go. All right, cool. So I guess that's it for today.